All right. This one on noon, obviously on ABC, man, really, really good game. Oklahoma and obviously Missouri. The biggest question that I don't know just yet, but is Bo Prabula going to play or is it Matt Zollers? Right? We know how good this team can be when Bo Prabula is obviously the quarterback. They play at a very high rate, right? But the key in this game, if you're Oklahoma, is you got to slow down Ahmad Hardy. Ahmad Hardy's been having a phenomenal season. He's the leading rusher right now in NCAA, right? He's obviously one of the best at running the ball, right? But we've seen teams with strong defensive fronts obviously be able to stop them, right? We've seen teams, Alabama, be able to slow down Hardy a little bit, right? I think they held him to 50-some yards in that game. So we've seen that at a consistent rate. And we know that Oklahoma has that defensive front in order to do so. You know what I'm saying? We know that. So that's going to be an interesting chess match there. And then if Bo Prabula plays, can they hit the big plays down the field with Coleman Jr. and all their receivers in their receiving core, right? That's going to be very interesting to see, right? Because if they slow down the run game, that kind of limits your play action a little bit, right? And that makes it to where you're kind of one dimensional to a degree. And Oklahoma's a team, you don't want to be one dimensional, right? You don't want to just be pass, pass, pass. You want to be able to run the football. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to do play action, throw different plays. Their defensive front is just too good, bro. They're one of the top teams, I believe, in sacks this year as well. They're too good, right? They're too good. So they're gonna have to figure that out obviously early enough in this game, and it's gonna be interesting to see if Bo Prabula plays, right? If you Missouri has been a little susceptible to big plays. So, like I said, if you Oklahoma, you got to get the running game going outside of a John Mateer, right? Now, Mateer, remember, early in the season, he was a Heisman candidate, right? Had that injury to his obvious hand. Hasn't been necessarily the same player. He's been doing just enough to get done. But the problem is they haven't gotten enough from Blaylock, right? They haven't gotten enough from a running game. A lot of times, Mateer has had to kind of carry the team on his back with running the football, right? And being the leading rusher. So that's kind of been really tough for them this year as far as obviously the Sooners go. But they play a quality game. They play good football. This is a big one for them at home. You pretty much can throw the proverbial knockout blow to Missouri if you win this game, right? That's the proverbial knockout. You're 9-2 with one game left. Likely don't get into an SEC championship, but that might be enough to help you punch your ticket. If you're 10-2 in the SEC and you went 6-2, or excuse me, if you're 10-2 overall, you went 6-2 in the SEC. That might be just enough, right? And if you Oklahoma, lean on Stagner, the second, man. He's been having a really good season. Underrated guy, 718 yards, 53 catches, and 5 tubs. He's been having obviously a really good season. But like I said, the key for Oklahoma, slow down Lamar Hardy, right? If Bo Prabula plays, get pressure on him. He's shown he's been a little bit susceptible. We've seen the Alabama game when pressure comes his way. And then obviously lean on Mateer in the passing game to kind of get going. And you got to try to establish some kind of a run if you Oklahoma. It can't be all on Mateer. He can run the ball. He's a dual threat option, but you got to be able to kind of get different pieces to step up as well. But a really big game for both teams. Missouri still has a little bit of life. I don't know if they would get in at 5-3 in the SEC, but they are ranked in the CFP poll. But this is the proverbial knockout blow for Oklahoma for them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think 10-2 in conference play for the Sooners, that will get you in. I really do believe that. So we'll see, man. Big game coming up, obviously in Norman, Oklahoma. I'm going with the Sooners. I think they win this one pretty handily. I'm going to go 35-17 victory. I think they struggle to just kind of establish that run for Missouri, and I think they get after Prabula, whoever plays, if it's Zollers. I think they get after him with that with that defensive pass rush, and they create negative plays and create turnovers, man. So Oklahoma by a long shot, 35-17. John Mateer has one of his better games of the year, and they advanced to 9-2 in the year. There you have it. All right, y'all. Let's keep rolling. That's obviously that one. Let's go to the big one. Okay, so ESPN College Game Day is going to obviously be